This is Stitch, a juvenile blue tree monitor. Claws like razors, a mouthful of needles designed for shredding, and she isn't friendly. Before she gets any bigger, we need to make friends with this blue dragon. And to do that, we need to find her favorite food, hobbies, and turn this pile of wood into an insane jungle to call home. In the beginning, 9 months ago, Stitch fit into the palm of a hand, but she didn't want to. She was shy, scared, and would rather hide away than interact with anybody. Even approaching her enclosure was too much pressure, and she would scare away. Stitch grew and grew until finally we needed to make her a bigger enclosure. Don't worry, we turned this pile of wood into this one in a minute. But first, we tossed one together. We gave her some more room to climb and put it right in my office so she was always around me and could learn that I didn't really want to eat her. Little by little, she started to warm up to me and my family. And now when I walk up to the glass of her enclosure, she greets me with a curious smile, wondering if I have food or maybe just a spritz of water. And as the days went by, she became more and more confident month after month. She hid less, she was out when we came up to the glass, and she's gained the confidence that a true dragon should have. So now it's time to give her her forever home. I love the habitat enclosure she was in, but she's outgrown it, and they don't make one big enough, which means I have to. From scratch. So I went to the store, grabbed the supplies, and I went home to get to work.
I got wood.
Step 1. Cut the wood into the right measurements. I actually had the dude at Home Depot do this. I highly recommend this website to make a plan and just hand it to them. They'll take care of the rest. Step 2. Unload and sort the wood. I'm actually making 2 enclosures here, so subscribe to see the next build next month. Step 3. Convince your dad to come do manual labor on his day off. Once everything is nailed together, cut a rectangle in the top, put 2 coats of this paint on it, and then add a screen so that light can get inside. Next, take a break and eat a pickle. You deserve it. And while you're at it, feed your blue dragon a blue worm. Come to think of it, it's time to find her favorite food. In today's first course, crickets, dusted with calcium and gut-loaded with veggies. Stitch wastes no time putting her whole head into the cup and emerging with a crown of powdery snacks. Now you have a completed box that will leak like the screen door in a submarine if you plant it and water it as it is. So you need to run a bead of black silicone on all the seams and smooth it out with a tool or your finger. Next, add a piece of scrap wood onto the inside so when you install the casters with the screws, they won't poke on the inside of the box and destroy your liner. Then toss in a pond liner and affix it with staples. Check for approval from the supervisor, and while you wait for the silicone to dry, go strap up some plants to some cork. Check out this video right here where I give you a tutorial on how I did that. This dragon, the blue tree monitor, climbs. That's what they do. Their claws are most well suited for trees, for the bark of trees rather than rocks or cliffs. Rocks and cliffs are more well suited for these guys, which we'll talk about next month. So it only makes sense to affix wood to all the sides of the enclosure to make it a complete climbing surface area, and for that we use cork panels. After that, make sure the boss is satisfied, and then get back in your truck and bring your wife to the woods where she is most at home because you married a feral Disney princess who can spot a good dragon climbing stick from a Canadian football field away. Ours are bigger. Take them home, clean them up, let them dry, and while they dry, mix up some play stands, sphagnum moss, and topsoil with a little hint of Repti chip into a bucket and fill the bottom of your enclosure. To complete the build, put on the tracks for the glass with a little bit of glue and some clamps, and now it's time to put a giant stump right in the middle, making that the centerpiece of where this animal will hopefully start to climb up and bask at the top. Now is the time for you to be creative, have fun, give it different angles and looks, make it look like a little cross-section of a jungle. I've been lucky enough to go all over the world, including Indonesia, where these animals are found. There are ferns everywhere, so as you're putting the branches in place, make sure there's places for epiphytes to grow out of, and place the logs at different angles. These little dragons love different ways to climb, straight up the walls, straight up the stump, at 45-degree angles, and some horizontal branches to give them a break and let them just chill out at their natural state. It's going to be hard to see, so before you do any of this, throw a light on the screen that you've just stapled in. I use a grow light from Arcadia and a UVB light from Arcadia too, and what I absolutely love is the new Luminize product from Arcadia. Instead of the lights turning on and off like a switch, they crescendo up and dim all the way down throughout the course of the day so it simulates the sun. The new Luminize Jungle Dawn light is loved by these plants. They grow so unbelievably well, and your day and night cycles are completely customizable and automated through the app, which is incredibly easy to use. And Stitch is going to love this Pro T5 from Arcadia. Thanks Arcadia for sending this stuff my way, and a special thanks to Chewy for sponsoring today's episode, and that's where you can get yours. All the way until August 8th, get 25% off Arcadia products on Chewy.com with the code LUMINIZE25. But if we want this to look like a natural Indonesian jungle, it's missing something important: plants. Drop a giant pothos plant that's outgrown its pod inside the crown of the stump. Place your favorite plants all around the enclosure, on the walls, in between the crux, and then plant the ground as well with your favorite ferns, sensitive plants, and other plants that are going to love the water dripping from the misting system that you installed but we forgot to talk about. Connect them to your misting system, and just like that, the very first thunderstorm brews in your brand new enclosure. This is what the wilds of Indonesia look like almost every single day during the wet season. For nearly 6 months, it rains every single day, and thunderstorms often accompany it. It might seem scary to put an animal into an enclosure like this, but Stitch is going to feel right at home. Not to mention the rain is automated, but the thunderstorm is just for this video because it looks kind of cool. In fact, this 300-gallon paradise is named Hutan Hari, which means day forest in Indonesian, the language Stitch would hear if she ever saw humans in the jungles of her native habitat. And with that, it's time to make sure that she's comfortable with us before we release her into this enclosure. Surprisingly, she let us pick her up. No problem. She's not running away from us anymore. She's completely calm, but curious, always moving her head around and checking what's going on. And now we have her in the room beside her enclosure, and she looks like she's eager to get inside. But I want to make sure that she's secure with us as her keepers. What happens if I put her on my arm? I can't even believe it. She moved right to my shoulder. She wants to be around us. She's curious, and she comes up to my face and she flicks her tongue and looks around. She knows that she's all right and she's not about to be eaten. Sometimes when you put an animal into a bigger enclosure, there's a feeling out process and they regress a little bit before they get better again, before they return to their confident selves, and we don't want that to happen with Stitch. We want Stitch to come to the glass every time we're in the room, to wonder if it's time to be fed or sprayed. When the lights come on, we want her to be excited for a brand new day in Hutan Hari, her brand new home. And when the lights go out, we want her to find her way to bed naturally in the many hiding spots that we provided for her. We want this to be her forever home that she is infinitely confident in and lives the most amazing life that a monitor could live in captivity. It's time to release Stitch in her home. She's exploring every surface. She's jumping onto the walls, which is exactly what we wanted. The whole idea is to give her an opportunity to climb everywhere that you see a surface. She's able to use it. This is going to keep her limbs strong, her claws fit, and her brain activated. I couldn't be more happy with the way it turned out for Stitch and how happy she is in this enclosure. So let's give her a night and see if she's out in the morning. I came down just after her morning shower, and there she was, basking in the first morning light, lapping up the dew on the walls, finding her way onto the plants and the stump. Stitch, once a scared and angry little dragon, has grown into a gentle but beautiful beast, and I look forward to seeing how she progresses day by day until she's an adult and she's ready for a mate.